What's up? You got your boy Dyreck, aka Native Shades, reminding you to like and subscribe. Cause today we're gonna be talking about the Fizmo. What had happened was. So the year is 1998. Jay-Z just dropped an unbelievable track called A Hard Knock Life. His producer, the 45 King, actually sampled the Orphan Annie theme song. The industry is going crazy. They're like, Jay-Z, the In the Lifetime cat? Now when he enters the club and walks through the door, people move aside in awe. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the year is 1998. But the story unravels a little more than a decade earlier. You see, Bob Yanis and ENSONIQ around 1984 put out the ENSONIQ Mirage, which at the time was the most affordable polyphonic sampling keyboard on the market. EMU had their Emulator 2, which went for about $8,000, and the Fairlight went for about $28,000. But the Mirage was only $2,000. In some cases, you could get it for $1,700. This was a game changer. You fast forward to 1988, and ENSONIQ put out more classic pieces of gear, like the EPS, and a little later the EPS 16. And in 1992, ENSONIQ put out probably their most famous keyboard of all time. And that was, yes, ladies and gentlemen, the ASR 10. ENSONIQ was on a roll. Everything was just falling into place for ENSONIQ, to the point a Singapore company known as Creative Technologies took notice of them. Creative Technologies was like Uncle Moneybags. You know, like the big trick that'll come into the club with the fur coat, the big gold chains, and all the ladies just flock around him? Creative Technologies was that guy. To the point where he's sitting at the bar, he notices you and just starts snapping on you. Like, hey, look everyone, it's Jim. Haven't seen you for a while, buddy. Hey, I really like your shades. Are you going for the ironic look or the look, I'm still unemployed look? Give it up for Jim, ladies and gentlemen. Creative Technologies noticed ENSONIQ's acceleration, and there was a soundboard that they really wanted from ENSONIQ. So they thought, hey, if you can't beat them, join them. And they gave ENSONIQ an offer. And ENSONIQ said yes. And like that, ENSONIQ was now a part of the Creative Technologies branch. And in 1998, ENSONIQ released what was supposed to be their greatest synthesizer ever. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the Fizmo. You're getting 61 semi-weighted velocity and pressure sensitive keys. You're getting 4 programmable key ranges and 4 possible zones. You're getting an incredible 48 voices, which uses the 2nd generation trans-wave technology. It also has 128 ROM sounds with up to 128 RAM. And 64 presets. You're getting a high-pass filter with a resonant low-pass filter and band-pass filter. You're getting 8 LFOs with 7 waveform choices that can sync to the arpeggiator and the eternal MIDI clock. You're getting 41 digital VSLI 24-bit effects. You're getting a vocoder, and the Fizmo even enables you to process incoming audio signals through the vocoder and effects. This was very, very impressive from ENSONIQ. Synthesis fanatics couldn't wait for the Fizmo. This was a creative product. And you gotta remember, at the time, ENSONIQ was still kind of a young company. It had a lot of young guys in there, you know, a lot of young guitarists. They were kind of like the new kids on the block. Yes, even with the ASR 10 and the X and everything like that, they were still considered young guys. And a lot of their products were great, almost because of happy mistakes. They used the drop sampling method of sampling. And at the time, that was like a primitive method. That was like an old school joint. But they made it work with their equipment. You know, a lot of things like the ASR-10 might have weird quirks about it, but it actually sounded really good. One of the great features of the Fizmo is the Vocoder. The Vocoder, where you can speak through the microphone and start tuning the knobs and it changes the sound of your voice. It's incredible. You even could change it through the keys. It sounds incredible. You can actually sound like Soundwave from Transformers. You know, Megatron's right-hand man. Remember Soundwave when he'd be standing in the corner and he'd be like, Megatron, the Autobots are approaching. Rumble, eject. Ravage, eject. Laserbeak, eject. You can literally sound like that on the Fizmo. So the workflow of the Fizmo is like this. You basically have 64 presets. There are 4 sounds in each preset with a maximum of 8 oscillators. The oscillators, you can have 58 waveforms as far as what it could play. It could play a saw wave, square wave, and it's star-studded trans wave. And it's pretty dope. They even allowed you 5 real-time knobs. You have an effect modulation knob, a wave modulation knob, a filter cutoff, an oscillator detuning, and the last knob basically varies based on the preset you choose. And that's pretty much it. You just start fiddling with the knobs and see what you can make happen, basically, which is great. I mean, in actuality, I love the real-time knobs. I love to just go in and just start tweaking and making something happen. But the Fizmo had some issues. First of all, on those 5 real-time knobs, they didn't really label them properly. They didn't even label them at all. They put basically the letters of the Fizmo. The F for the first knob, I for the second, Z for the third, M for the fourth, and O for the last knob. And it has nothing to do with what the knobs actually do. Yeah, you gotta remember, man, the ENSONIQ guys, they were like a young company. You know, they were really disorganized, even though, you know what I'm saying, they had a lot of spectacular products that they were able to put out. They were still, you know, young guys, man, because, you know, they would be like in the Creative Technologies cafeteria, and, you know, the EMU guys would step to the line to get the food, and all of a sudden a football would just come out of nowhere, hit the EMU guys' food, and the food will fall all over the ground, and they're looking around, they're like, what the hell's going on? And you see the ENSONIQ guys, they're like, hey bro, pass the football, man, pass the football, bro. Yeah, we're playing touch football. And the EMU guys never seen anything like this. They're like, touch football? Yeah, bro, this is how we work, man. We're real creative, bro. Pass the football. Johnny got quarterback, man. His arm is incredible. The EMU guys was like, I can't believe this. You know what I'm saying? When the Fizmo comes out, some folks have problems with the Fizmo. Some folks feels the sounds are too bright. It's like blinding them, you know what I mean? You know, everyone kind of got used to products like the Kurzweil 2500 and the Korg Trinity. You know, they really love being able to get their warm sounds out the box. Well, the Fizmo was a little different. I mean, you can create warm sounds out of the Fizmo, but initially the sounds are a bit bright, and some folks had an issue with it. And some folks didn't like the price. The price of the Fizmo was about $1,300 when it came out. And they were kind of like, I don't know if it's giving us that much to demand $1,300. You know, I can only go so far with the programming capabilities. So, why do you guys want all this money for again? You know, the ENSONIQ guys had great hearts. They made some blockbuster machines that people love till this day. But it's just at the time their work ethic wasn't the best. You know, if you went into the Creative Technologies building, you see the ENSONIQ guys slapboxing in the hallway. You know, a couple days later, they'll be like holding a meeting. The EMU guys go to the meeting, they're seeing the ENSONIQ guys, and they're writing profusely. The Emu guys was like, oh my gosh, what's going on? I see you guys got the Fizmo manual out. Is everything all right? Are we adding new features? They're like, nah, relax, bro. We're just writing rap lyrics. Yeah, bro. I think I'm just as good as Tupac, just as good as Eminem, man. The ENSONIQ guys were really disorganized. But the Fizmo was a unique piece of gear that was refreshing at the time it came out around 1998. You know, you gotta remember, the Fizmo was created to be a retro synthesizer. They were trying to make a retro 80s synth. And if you really look at the style of the Fizmo, you know, the purple style and the look, it already looks old school. It looks retro. That's how come when you see it today, it looks dope. People are like, yo, what is that? You know what I mean? ENSONIQ purposely made it like that as an eye catcher because they had the foresight to see that, man, in the future, people are going to want to get this thing. The Fizmo is pretty easy at face value to use. All you got to do is just start tweaking around with the knobs and just see what happens, you know? And usually good things happen. Even the sound of the Fizmo was supposed to represent kind of like the 80s sound. You know, those sounds of those 80s synthesizers and groups like Van Halen and everything like that you was hearing in their music. The Fizmo was supposed to create those kind of sounds for you. And you also got to take into consideration that Creative Technologies just purchased ENSONIQ. Like, they weren't able to really go in deep on the Fizmo as they really wanted to. They couldn't even really, finish the manual. You know, there's certain things in the manual, the initial manual that you couldn't do. ENSONIQ was like, listen, bro, listen, we're going to put it online. Don't worry. We're going to put it on the internet. But musicians, producers, and artists, we're impatient. We want it now. We don't want to wait for anything. People were running up to ENSONIQ like, okay, what's going on here? On the Fizmo, when I push a button, it does one thing. If I double push the button, it does another thing. If I triple push it, it does something else. What's going on? I need a manual that tells me what the hell it is I'm doing here. So, the ENSONIQ guys were so psyched up about the Fizmo. When they released it, they were smug. They were psyched up. They really thought it was going to be the wave of the future. But, people were getting them and they were plugging them into the wall and the freaking power adapter was blowing up on them. Some people actually had to use the SNES power adapter to work with the Fizmo. It actually worked on it. And, some other guys would be using it in a live performance. They would play like a D minor chord and the keyboard would get stuck on the D minor chord. The sound would just keep sounding off and it'll just be stuck on that chord for like a week. You know what I'm saying? So Creative Technologies was confused. The Emu guys was like, what's going on here? They would have meetings. Doug from ENSONIQ comes barging and busting in the door in the meeting like, hey, listen, guys. Listen, don't worry about the Fizmo. Listen, I got a great idea. I got a great investment idea that's going to save the company. No, listen to me. Everybody has to put their money in. Grab the retirement fund, put everything in. We're putting everything in this one. Okay, this is a surefire hit. We're going to place all our money on Blockbuster Video. It's guaranteed to make us billions. In 10 years from now, we're going to be richer than Sony. This is what was going on in Creative Technologies. But even with everyone's gripes, the Fizmo still stands as an amazing piece of equipment. The reason is because it's so different. In ENSONIQ's defense, they always stated that this was supposed to be a synthesizer. This wasn't supposed to be like having a band in your room or something like that, or an orchestra right in front of you. No, this was supposed to be for synthesis. Like the sounds that you can create on the Fizmo, you probably can't create on any other synthesizer just based on the sonic sound of the Fizmo. If you go online now and try to get a Fizmo, they're going for $3,500, $4,000. You know what I'm saying? So people that know about the Fizmo and what it could really do, know about the Fizmo and what it can really do. So that's the Fizmo. What had happened was... So this is your boy Dyreck, aka Native Shades, reminding you to go down low in the description and get that 3 steps to income production, where I'm showing you how to make a couple extra bucks with your music production. They got courses out there on the internet selling you this information for $500. I'm giving it to you for less than 20 bucks. You don't have to go searching all over for the answers. It's right here. You don't have to get another side job. This could be your side job. So this is your boy Dyreck, aka Native Shades, reminding you to like and subscribe. And I'm signing off.